Hi, I'm Jim Inhofe. I'm a Republican senator from Oklahoma, and I'm also the top Republican on the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee. Now, today I have some good news to share with you. We have an overwhelming bipartisan majority in the United States Senate that are opposed to the Obama EPA cap and trade agenda. For almost 10 years, I successfully worked to stop the cap and trade legislation. Now, President Obama is trying to do through regulation what he couldn't do through legislation. Therefore, 2 weeks ago, Senator McConnell, the minority leader of the Senate, and I introduced my bill as an amendment to a business bill to stop the EPA's cap and trade regulations. Majority Leader Reid announced that very day that he would have a vote. Of course, he soon heard from a number of his Democrat colleagues urging him not to do it. What we now know is that several Senate Democrats are faced with a tough choice. Either support President Obama's cap and trade agenda to make gasoline and electricity more expensive, or stand with consumers, small businesses, farmers, and ranchers who are demanding affordable energy. This really isn't a choice. Democrats know that they can't stand with the president's energy policy publicly. It simply doesn't sell back home. So they're trying to have it both ways. Now, since my bill was offered on the Senate floor, Democrats have introduced 3 alternative amendments, all of which admit the EPA will harm consumers and farmers and small businesses and automakers and coal-fired power plants and manufacturers, but none of them will actually stop the harm. That's because these amendments, I'm talking about the Democrat amendments now, these are what the newspaper Politico referred to as cover amendments. Now, what does that mean? It means Democrats have designed amendments that create the appearance of getting tough on EPA, that they are going to going to bat for the constituents, but at the same time, they want to keep President Obama happy, so they end up keeping his energy cap and trade agenda in place. So farmers and all those who will be harmed by this agenda are left hanging out to dry. The point of my bill is simple, and it's straightforward. EPA's cap and trade agenda should be repealed. We know the reason for this. My friend Senator Manchin, who's a Democrat, and he's from West Virginia, a new senator, who is also a co-sponsor of my legislation, he said at best and recently, and I'll quote what he said. He said, quote, "The EPA has totally overstepped its boundaries." He also said, and I'm still quoting, "It was never an agency put in place in position to create public policy that's going to affect us and change our way of life," unquote. Senator Manchin's exactly right. Whether you live in West Virginia or Ohio or Michigan or Missouri or Oklahoma, my state, if we don't stop the EPA, it will change our way of life. It will make energy less affordable, less reliable, and put our security and our economy at risk. Now, I want you to know that my bill is moving quickly in the House, and I believe it'll pass this coming week with bipartisan support, I'll add. Here is where I need your help. I need you to tell your senator to stop the EPA and to vote for the Inhofe-McConnell amendment. I also need you to spread the word that the Democrats' amendments don't do anything. They allow the EPA to continue its attack on affordable energy. So the path ahead is straightforward. If you want to avoid construction bans, if you want to prevent energy taxes on farmers, consumers, and small businesses, if you want to stop a $300 billion tax increase, if you want to stop the EPA's unprecedented regulatory expansion, and if you want Congress to decide the nation's climate policy instead of the EPA, then tell your senator to vote for the Inhofe-McConnell amendment. Now, with your help, we can finally put an end to the EPA's cap and trade agenda. We can do it, but you got to help us.